This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a crash in Martin County killed a well-known coach this morning. Tim Rice coached the girls basketball team at Sheldon Clark High School and worked as an in-school suspension teacher. The crash happened on New Route 3. Officials believe Rice hit the back end of a cement truck with his SUV. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked with the principal and one of his players.
A sad day for many in Martin County as the women's head basketball coach for Sheldon Clark High School died in a crash.
I had a staff member that took me into the office and said, you know, there's been an accident, and we hear it was Tim Rice.
That is the moment Sheldon Clark High School principal Martha Williams knew she needed to put her own feelings aside and break the news to his players.
Our number one priority was to the girls basketball team. We knew how much they loved him and it would be difficult for them.
Williams says as word spread of the crash, no one wanted to believe it.
Miss Williams brought us down to the office and told us about it, and you could tell it wasn't, good.
The crash happened after his SUV hit the back end of a concrete truck on New Route 3 in Martin County. Mackenzie Preston says she played for Rice for 5 years.
My heart stopped. You never think it until it's somebody you know.
Preston says he loved to push his team to be better, but at the end of the day, he was more than just a coach.
Like, they've watched him coach, but he meant more than a coach. He was a friend, he was a companion, he was a good person.
I'm told grief counselors are on hand at the high school. In Martin County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
The crash happened near mile marker 3. The driver of the cement truck was not hurt. Police do not suspect alcohol or drugs were involved. The parents of 2 young children killed in a house fire yesterday are being treated for serious burns in Georgia. We learned today that Dennis Chad Howard and Allison Howard were the ones severely burned yesterday. WYMT's Connor James spoke to a detective on the case who's also a family member. He joins us now from the newsroom with more. Connor.
Steve, just driving through Tots today, you can feel the weight weighing on that community and the Harlan County group as a whole. In talking with first responders, they tell me how heartbroken they are for family. The fire's cause is still under investigation as crews work to try to find the cause. Many in Harlan County knew the family. One of the detectives with Kentucky State Police, like you mentioned, is actually a family member.
Dennis Chad Howard, first cousins. I spoke with him on scene. He has a long road ahead of him. It's difficult, for his family, his parents. They're both having a hard struggle with it.
Obviously a heartbreaking story, but if anything shows just how together that community is. A nonprofit with Love from Harlan set up a fundraiser for the family last night. Since then, they've raised more than $5,000.
And it was another beautiful and warm day across the mountains. We've seen a few more clouds today, and that'll increase even more as we head into those overnight hours. You'll notice that here on the National Weather Service camera in Jackson. Beautiful blue skies, those clouds increasing just a little bit, and really that'll continue as we head into the next few hours. As we go ahead and take a look at the Mountain Parkway, you'll notice those blue skies, everything looking very green and spring outside. And satellite and radar shows dry conditions for now, but you'll notice those clouds to the north increasing a little bit, and that's ahead of a cold front that's currently out to our west, and I'll bring in those scattered rain chances tonight into your Wednesday and into your Thursday as well. Temperatures are very warm, all of us into about those lower 80s, so feeling pretty good outside. Some spots into the upper 70s, and as we head throughout the rest of the evening, we'll be dry and see a few more clouds as we head into right around that dinner time hour, really right around 9-10, closer to midnight, so when we're going to see those scattered rain chances really start to return. You'll notice those temperatures dropping into about the mid 60s by the time we get to right around midnight, so a very warm night ahead. We do bring back those scattered rain chances tonight and into your Wednesday, and then we'll bring back the greater chance for rain as we head into your Thursday. Now, while it looks like we're going to see showers on and off as we head into your Wednesday, so it's not going to be a total washout. I'll have that whole forecast for you guys coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right, thank you, Paige. An inmate is on the run in Knox County after officials say he escaped from work release. This is Christopher Denham. Officials say Denham escaped around 11 o'clock this morning. He was last seen running in the Evergreen Himyar area near the Flatlick Elementary School. Denham is not considered dangerous. He is described as 5'6", weighing about 165 pounds. He was in jail for unpaid fines, contempt of court, failure to appear in court, possession of drug paraphernalia, and giving police a fake name or address. In Alabama, a woman missing for 5 days was found alive in her wrecked car. Police say a passerby noticed a car that was mostly hidden by a bush in a ditch off a road Monday. Rescuers found Robin Joyce Fancher trapped inside. It took crews more than an hour to free Fancher. She suffered multiple injuries but was talking with rescuers. Fancher was taken to the hospital, but there's no word on her condition. Officials do not know how she survived inside the vehicle. A fire chief says she was pinned against the driver's door. Crews continue to search in Chicago today for a missing 5-year-old boy. Police say Andrew, or A.J. Freund, has been missing from northwest Chicago for at least 5 days. His parents last saw him April 17th when they put him to bed. He was reported missing the next morning. Hundreds of acres of land and water in the surrounding areas were searched. No Amber Alert was issued because police did not find evidence the child was abducted. The chorus of calls to impeach President Donald Trump is growing louder within the Democratic Party, but Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is urging caution. Pelosi says she is not there yet, telling party members on a conference call yesterday, quote, "We don't have to go to articles of impeachment to obtain the facts." Special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation outlined 10 different incidents that could be viewed as evidence of obstruction of justice. But Republicans are warning it will be a mistake for Democrats to try to remove the president with the 2020 presidential election just around the corner.
When you impeach, you often end up unwittingly strengthening the executive branch and strengthening the executive in office at the time.
The president does not appear concerned about impeachment. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the 6 nearly simultaneous bombings in Sri Lanka on Easter Sunday. 321 people were killed and 500 injured. The government believes 2 domestic Islamist groups are responsible. So far, 40 people were arrested in connection with the attacks, but Sri Lankan's prime minister warned there may be more militants with explosives at large. He also says Sri Lanka's security officials were warned about the attacks from foreign intelligence services, and the information was not shared with his office.
What has happened is a breakdown of communication. Some will have to be removed from their posts.
4 Americans are among the dead. The U.S. State Department says several other Americans are seriously hurt. Let's head over to Wall Street now this Tuesday afternoon. The Dow closes up today more than 145 points. Notre Dame's smallest official residence survived. Some 180,000 bees survived Notre Dame's fire that consumed the cathedral's ancient wooden roof. However, the bees are drunk on smoke and hunkered down in their hives. Bees do not have lungs, so they do not die from smoke inhalation, but they can die from excessive heat. Notre Dame's beekeeper was afraid the bees had died, but the bees clung to life, protecting their queens. European bees do not abandon their hives when facing danger. The bees moved into the cathedral in 2013 as part of Paris's initiative to boost declining bee numbers. Straight ahead on First at 4, we'll take you live to Day 2 of the National Prescription Drug Abuse and Heroin Summit in Atlanta, where congressional leaders gave us an update on the opioid crisis.
And rain chances return tonight, but when will we see the best chance for rain? We'll break down that full forecast in just a few short minutes.